Tzeentch is not as he seems to be. Now I know that seems very obvious, but first let me get into more of a clarification of what the Chaos Gods really are. If you're just getting into 40k, you probably have heard of the Chaos Gods, and you know that there are 4 of them, and that they represent hatred, excess, disease, and change. You've probably seen the box art with zombies, hedonists, warriors, and wizards. It's a very simple concept, very marketable, very fun. But as you get reading into the books, you realize that they also represent honor, artistic ability, resilience, and hope. And then as you go even further down, I know there's a lot of rabbit holes, you find that they don't really represent those at all. Khorne does not care for honor. Slaanesh is not very good at art, objectively. Nurgle finds resilience very fun, but only in certain circumstances. And Tzeentch is more about the change than hope. And by the time your mortal soul realizes that these gods really don't care for your value, well, you're really left only with 2 options. Die and be devoured by demons for all eternity, or become a slave to darkness. But today, we're talking about Tzeentch, God of Change. And I wanted to talk about Tzeentch because I feel like the vast majority of people don't very much understand what Tzeentch is. I feel like they've heard the memes and they just go, he's just the god of wackiness. He's just gonna mess with you, and after 500 years of hard planning, you get chaos spawned for the lulz. And you'd be right if you're just looking at it on a surface level. Tzeentch does seem extremely erratic, extremely strange. How can you please something that constantly changes its plans, is constantly betraying you? Well, that's what I'm going to try to answer today. But first, let's talk about the big man himself. Tzeentch in lore is described as a massive Lovecraftian-sized monster that is constantly changing size, shape, color, and is constantly changing plans for not seemingly a end goal, but just doing it to do it. Tzeentch is stated to be the most intelligent of the Chaos Gods, and that reflects in the followers he recruits. Tzeentch's recruitment is usually very intellectuals of academia, scientists, explorers, spies, people that would have use for a cloak and dagger or a push in the right direction on the journey of discovery. So yeah, as you know, the Tzeentch haters would say, a bunch of nerds. He recruits from nerds. And like most chaos corruption, it will usually start with a small gift. A revelation here, a small psychic ability there, a lead, an epiphany for a spy to who's really running the show, to a revolutionary, a new idea, a new slogan to bring the masses of the Imperium together in unity for a better future. Following this, the corruption will get worse and worse until you're a raving madman shooting lightning out of your hands, screaming about the interstellar cosmic god that speaks to you in your sleep. And most of the time, you just either are executed by Imperial forces for being a raving lunatic psyker, or you turn into a spawn. But then there's that 1% of 1% chance, where you're able to control the insanity and remain somewhat sane with a newfound intelligent and unmatched psychic prowess. Following this, you will be unstoppable on your planet. You will grow in immense power, and you will destroy any that stand in your way. And your followers will not even have a chance to dispose you, because whatever they're thinking, you've already thought of it, and then 10 steps further. And because you're so smart, because you've done so much, you're amazingly powerful, you're amazingly intelligent, Why isn't there a second god of change? Who is this being that's ordering you around? You deceived your way to the top. Clearly you could deceive your way again to even further heights. And as that thought finishes processing through your brain, you begin to feel a mutation along your spine, followed as ribs crack and expand, bones splinter and fracture out into 100 shards, and glass replace your eyes as you're turned into a spawn. See, a lot of these high-level wizards that serve Tzeentch, Tzeentch's top guys, came from the most despicable, untrustworthy forces there could be in the galaxy. And thus, Tzeentch is constantly needing to thin his ranks. Just as a mortal leader would execute a potential rival in the future that could possibly rise to threaten his power, Tzeentch is constantly culling these individuals with them and their unchecked ambitions. And from the outside, it seems, why is he shooting all his men? Well, Tzeentch's plans do get in their own way. He has a plan for this person to become very powerful, but he knows this person will betray him in the future. So he lets him just get far enough to achieve a goal set that the person may not even know was their part in the plan, and then disposes of them, because all are pawns before Tzeentch. But that does not mean there's not long-term career options within the Tzeentch hierarchy. Let me tell you about it. All you need to do to stay alive in Tzeentch's armies is to check yourself and make sure that you are not stupid. Now, I know that sounds very weird and going, you're already a high wizard, super psyker. How am I stupid? It's because you forget the common sense. Tzeentch recruits from what I would like to call pseudo-intellectuals, or the Dunning-Kruger crowd. People that believe they know everything because they are the ones that will reach the furthest into the warp and experiment the most with magical abilities. However, they also have unchecked ambition, and they will continuously make poor decisions that get in their own way and get in the way of Tzeentch. And the moment you get in the way of Tzeentch properly, you are annihilated. And that's why Tzeentch's forces are constantly being culled, because his followers fundamentally believe that they are doing the right thing. They believe it to the truest sense of self. Because, how do I put this? They are so intelligent, they've been intelligent to this point, can't they trust their own intelligence? I am smart, I know I'm smart, I've done all this to prove I'm smart, I have evidence to show I'm smart. Why would this not be smart? And there's only a handful of individuals that really serve Tzeentch properly and have been able to survive without their ego dooming them. I believe that the 1,000 Suns from top to bottom are the greatest example of this, because legions usually follow the course of their god. The pseudo-intellectual, I know everything attitude, which the 1,000 Suns not only had, but promoted actively among its ranks, led to its doom. And without this, with some caution, they could have survived, but they did not. And they made bad choice after bad choice after bad choice. Even after Magnus the Red realized he had been fooled, he actively denied communication to the Space Wolves, because he believed it was the only way. He never outsourced intellectual thought. He never went, I am wrong, maybe I should confide in one of my brothers and see if I have a difference of opinion there. Even after being proven that he was deceived, he stood firm and made horrible decisions again and again until him and his sons were damned for all eternity. Anyway, that's my thoughts on Tzeentch. It's been a while since I posted a video. I'm going to try to make it more regularly, but no promises. Also, I stream on Twitch sometimes, usually at like 7 or 10. So, see ya. Have a great day. Bye.